Hell's bells, people. Insta360 have just hours ago announced a new camera is coming out on March the 9th. What's it going to be? And I'm pretty sure I know. So if you want to find out, don't go away. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel where we review tech related to making YouTube videos and other breaking news videos just like this one. So if you're liking this content, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss out on any new videos. And make sure you stick around until the end where I ask some questions about the camera others may not have thought of yet, plus I can see a design feature that no one else has picked up on yet. Well, it's all on. Just hours ago, Insta360 announced that they would be releasing a new camera on March the 9th. They've released a teaser ad and picture that shows the camera is incredibly small. Now, everyone thought it was amazing when Insta360 came out with the Insta360GO in 2019. The footage you could get from such a small camera was incredible and is still one of my favorite devices for getting POV and other creative shots. But this camera looks even smaller, indicated by the teaser picture on their website. And the video quality and detail that it looks like you can capture looks amazing. Now, one of the downsides of small cameras is small sensors, but having said that, in the teaser clip, the quality looks incredible. The teaser video shows an incredibly long shot of the camera backing out through a maze of objects, and it looks like the kind of footage you'd get with an expensive probe camera. A probe camera, like the one brought out by Lowdown, allows you to get all sorts of shots zooming into and out of objects and other creative shots and angles. It's a very expensive lens, around $1,500 US, and is used by professionals often when they film creative commercials or product advertisements. In fact, many professionals just rent the lens rather than buy one themselves. You can obviously now recreate this type of shot with the new camera, presumably by attaching it to something, but I guess all will be revealed next week. The 360 Rumors YouTube channel has had access to one of these for a few months and has released a few facts about the camera. Now, he'll be under a very strict non-disclosure agreement, so won't be able to say anything too commercially sensitive, so he's understandably a bit vague, but here's what we know so far. First up, it's definitely aimed at the consumer, not the professional, which is great because it means the pricing will be pretty sharp. Plus, people tend to associate, rightly or wrongly, size with price, so people won't be willing to fork out hundreds and hundreds for such a tiny little camera, no matter how cool it is. Which means, and this is great news for creators, you may be able to get more than one and capture action from multiple angles at the same time. And whilst it isn't aimed at professionals, you can bet your bottom dollar they'll have more than a couple of these in their bag to allow them to capture short clips at different angles in order to add creativity and imagination to the production value of their footage. Hey guys, I've got heaps more on my list, but make sure you stick around until the end where I share a design feature that no one else has picked up on yet. Next, this isn't a 360 camera. Now, whilst it can be used for creative shots, it is most definitely not a 360 camera. I kind of like it because sometimes with 360 cameras, you don't want 360. How many times can I say 360 in one sentence? You want to be able to record something naturally, and you're always a bit compromised when you do that. So this camera will just record normal footage, not 360. Next, the types of shots you'll be able to get with this camera looks like it will only be limited by your imagination. Insta360 have asked people what they would do with the camera, and people have come back with all sorts of suggestions, from attaching it to their homing pigeon, their dog, hamster, clearly a lot of animal options, to their drone, skateboard, toys, kids, bikes, cars, all sorts of things. Now, this camera apparently has more functions than just point and shoot, and a number of innovative design features, so it sounds like it's a bit more capable than just a single setting, turn it on, press record, that type of thing. Clearly, the possibilities are endless with a camera like this one, but I do have a few questions that probably won't be able to be answered until it's officially released. First up, is it waterproof? It must be, right? With a camera like this, Insta360 must surely think that people are going to want to use it to do wacky things and get some highly creative shots with it, so it must have some form of waterproofing, even if it isn't fully waterproof. It should be able to withstand a little bit of a dunking. Next, does it record natively or wirelessly? I mean, if it's so small, it will either have to use a very small amount of onboard memory or will rely on transmitting the footage to a device like a smartphone. Next, it will have an app, absolutely guaranteed. And no doubt you'll be able to control all of the camera settings from the app. But how much of the camera settings can you change on the camera itself versus having to do it all on the app? If the camera's so small, it probably won't have a screen, which means the functions you can control on the camera will be very limited. Next, the sensor size. Now, the footage in the teaser looks amazing, but remember this is filmed under strictly controlled conditions. What's it going to be like when someone like me pops it under their car? Now, knowing Insta360, it will be usable footage for sure, but how usable? I guess we'll find out soon. And what about lens mods? That seems to be trendy right now. Just look at the GoPro Hero 9 with its max lens mod, with other lens mods probably in the pipeline. This would give the device much more flexibility, functionality, and more important for the manufacturers, more reasons for the consumer to buy it. And now for the design feature I don't think anyone has picked up on yet, and that is the form factor of the camera itself. Check out the photo posted by Insta360 on their website. You can clearly see what looks like the lens of the camera, but if you zoom in you can see that the device has some length. Plus it has a familiar curvature on the end, and so to me it really looks like a modified version of the Insta360 Go. And think about it, this makes perfect sense. They already have the 360 Go, which is incredibly versatile, so rather than reinvent something, why not just make modifications to what you already have? The Insta360 Go has been out for about 18 months, and so over that time Insta360 would have received tons of feedback and suggestions about how to improve the device. It's quite possible that they've modified the lens to actually reduce the field of view, because if you look at the footage it doesn't have that warped wide-angle look you get with something like the 360 Go. And what's more, it's possible that the lens will be interchangeable, because by the looks of this lens it sticks out from the body of the camera, indicating that it will screw into the body. And if that's the case, it can be unscrewed and something else can be screwed on. Also for mounting, whilst the 360 Go has magnets and a raft of mounts that you can use on it, the one thing that would make it even more usable would be a 1/4 mount screw built in. So they've either done that or they've created a bunch of new and creative mounting options for the camera. And finally, if all that's true, I think we're looking at the Insta360 Go2. I guess we'll have to wait until March the 9th to find out, unless of course there are more teasers released or, God forbid, DJI style leaks. Speaking of which, check out this video where I cover all the leaks of DJI's latest drone, the DJI FPV. Now, I'll definitely be bringing out more information on this camera, so make sure you hit the subscribe button below so you don't miss out on any updates. So that's what we know so far. Thanks guys, I'll catch you in the next video.